Hi there, people. My name is Praylove, and I'm going to talk a bit about my fragrance that I am wearing today. It is a fragrance that speaks for itself a bit. Here it is. It is Club de Nuit pour by Armaf, and this is a great fragrance. Everyone kind of knows it. Like in the fragrance community, it is widely known for being a clone of Creed Aventus, which is the most popular niche fragrance, one of the most popular male fragrance ever made. And I wanted to talk a bit about that fragrance. Still, because I'm talking about it a lot, I wear it a lot because I really like that fragrance. It is it's a fragrance that, like, if you know Aventus, well, imagine that it's pretty close. It's not exactly like Aventus. Aventus will always win towards the more natural ingredients lover out there, whereas this one is extremely synthetic. I do think that there are synthetic, like a lot of synthetic notes in Creed Aventus, and that the price isn't really justified. I think that if you want a more natural Creed Aventus, you would probably go for Atelier Cologne Musc Impérial, which is a fragrance I was addicted to before I even knew what Creed Aventus was. When I smelled Creed Aventus for the first time, I was like amazed, but then I smelled Explorer by Montblanc, and now I even own Club de Nuit Man. So why do I mention Explorer? Because Montblanc Explorer is very close to Aventus too, and I think it's got some of the synthetic components that are like the hallmark, like, of Creed Aventus. This one probably has it too. This one is actually, in my particular taste, that is very particular. I have nothing against synthetic fragrances as long as it does the job you want it to do. And this one really does the job you want it to do, because when you smell that DNA, you know, that super, like, fruity but musky but also like smoky DNA, what you really want to do is do something that will project a lot, will last for some time, and most importantly, you just want something that dries down very well. You know, that everything is just well mixed when it dries down, and that when the dry down appears, it's just fantastic. You've got your bubble, you've got that smokiness, you've got that fruitiness, you've got that musky warmth, you've got everything mixed in together, and it just gives a nice aura around you. And that does the trick pretty well. I think it's like, I don't know, I think you could find that for $20 on eBay. And Aventus is like $800. You know, it's like I don't think it's worth it, because, you know, that does the job. I mean, Aventus is like it's a beast. You know, it's a power beast fragrance. It projects a lot. It has a good sillage, good longevity, good everything. That one lacks in those criterions, but not that much. I mean, it's projecting well enough. It's pretty long lasting. I tend to reapply sometimes, but it does last a long time. It's sweet, it's musky, Some people complain about the harsh opening on this one. It is a bit harsh. When I smell it directly from the bottle, I can smell the. It is a bit like lemony, like harsh, but it gets in place. I'm like I have been notified to someone asked me for the batch number and the time it was produced. It was produced in November 2020, so it's a very recent one. What I read online is that perhaps the more recent ones they fixed that harshness a bit, so it's less harsh than the pre 2017 bottles. The opening, which is like it makes it easier to get like reapplied also because you're not like the it's not so harsh that it's repellent, so it's pretty good. So you can just reapply. It's a bottle that I find very easy to carry around because it's very sturdy, it's very strong, it's nice looking. You know, when you have that in your, like in a special pouch in your bag or whatever, and you just grab it and spray some more, it doesn't look odd like some bottles would be less appropriate. It's kind of classy. It's called Club de Nuit Intense. I'm not sure it would be my first choice in getting back in bars and stuff and parties and because it is very like I feel that it's very like safe, normal life kind of fragrance rather than going out kind of fragrance. Although there is still some smokiness from the birch note. It's like a tree note that gives a bit of a smokiness to it that is very sexy. I think that even though it is really sexy, in my opinion, and it is a very nice fragrance to wear, I think it's more like a daily use fragrance. And I think that it's best used during spring and fall. Although I think it's totally wearable in every season. It's kind of could be a signature scent. You know, you could just wear that all the time. It's very cheap and it comes in. You can get it in very big bottles and just spray twice a day. I mean, you know, in the morning and then you reapply later on, and then the next morning it's gonna be like perfect. It's gonna give a good aura around you, good scent. It's very like it's quite elegant but not overdone, subtle yet very sexy. It's like something that is but almost too common, you know. It's like it's sweet, it's everything, but it's very like nice. Some people don't like the just nice, like just being nice, whatever, like just smelling good, because that like it smells good, it smells clean and fruity and whatever. um some people like one of my friends, she hates all of these like kind of DNA thing, that not hate, but when I showed her Aventus, she was like, "Oh, it smells good. You know, it smells okay. I mean, it's not your best fragrance you own." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't own that one, and it costs a lot." I showed her Mont Blanc Explorer. She was like, "It's a bit better, but it's not that good." And I showed her that one, and she was like, "Oh, it's even better, but it's still like very tame. It still lacks personality, perhaps, for her." So what I would say is like, I mean, there's so much you can do with that kind of thing. You know, it's like Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. It's like all those fragrances, and they do smell alike. When I tested, and I need to test it back, but I tested this one with Prada Luna Rossa Carbon and Sauvage, and they all have that similar Ambroxan vibe, and they all have that similar like lavender and fruitiness and whatever. but in the case of Sauvage, it's a lot less fruity and a lot more like bar-like and everything. I think that the girl I talked about really preferred Sauvage to all of those, but it's kind of like a perfect scent for anything. You could go like to the gym and it won't anyone like no one will get offended by that. You could go whatever you want. It's kind of like a Prada Luna Rossa Carbone, but without the Prada Luna Rossa Carbone projects a lot more, I think, and it's a bit more sharp. This one doesn't really smell. You don't even really smell like a fragrance. More than like if you don't put too much, you just smell good. You know, it's like people will just pass by and be like, nice, and they will probably think that it's your clothes that smell good or that you use a very good soap or that whatever. Whereas Prada Luna Rossa Carbone really smells like a fragrance, which is something some people want to have, like and some others don't. I like both feels. It really depends, but I kind of like one of the reasons why I put this on a lot is just that when I get whiffs of it, I just feel good and it just smells nice, you know, and it's a no-brainer. It just smells really good, you know, and I like having those. Although I have too much of those, you know, I've got that, I've got Percival, I've got whatever, I've got Issey Aki, l'Odyssée. Um, I've got a lot of fragrances that just makes me feel good and just smell good, but it takes those. I mean, it takes like a perfect collection for me would be just three fragrances. One that just smells good, one that's daring and very bold, and the other one that just reflects the warmth and sensitivity of your personality. And that would be like the perfect trio, you know. This one very signature scent worth fragrance, this very daring bold fragrance that just two fragrances that compensate each other for like the personality, and one that just smells good. That would be everything you need in terms of fragrances. Yeah. So to recap, two sides of your personality and that fragrance that just smells good. But a perfect thing would be one fragrance that just smells good, because you don't need a fragrance to show your personality. You've got one. And any like even like the most even more perfect set of fragrances would just be your body odor, while being like conscientious about your hygiene. But it's the best scent that is made. It's the scent that is made just for you. So it's something that some people might exploit a lot. And these things, they just enhance. And that's why I love it. And that's why you need to spread love and spray love. Bye bye.